Hi everyone, and welcome to another lesson. Miss Polly was just sitting all nice, but the wind just got her, and off she went. So we'll go and grab her, and then we'll see what the next project is. So today's lesson is going to be how to make this cute gingerbread hat. I think this project is really adorable. Now, as you can see, my gingerbread man has been lightly baked in a slow to moderate oven because I didn't have any chocolate brown or dark brown that we use for the gingerbreads, and it's also a bad colour to demonstrate on the videos. So you can change the colours up any way you like. And it's about to get really windy here again, so Miss Polly might go for 6. Poor thing. Things they do to get on camera, hey? Anyway, let's get started on the lesson. And I just realised that her hat's on wonky. That's because she just went flying about 10 metres down the hill. Anyway, such is life in the big city. Let's get started on the lesson. First of all, we're going to need to have a hat made. You can use this video here to make a double crochet hat, or if you prefer a half double crochet or single crochet, you can make that as well. It doesn't really matter what pattern we have for our hat base. We're also using a sewing needle with a large eye, makes it great for threading your yarn easy. A pair of scissors, and then we're going to also need some scrap yarn. Now I say scrap, you won't need very much at all. We need some for the cheeks, which is the red one, black for the eyes, and then white for the icing. So if you've got half a ball of yarn laying around, that is going to be plenty. So let's get started first on the rosy cheeks. So what we need to do first is make our slip knot. Lots of different ways to make these. This is the way I make mine. It's probably the most complicated, but this is how I do it. Holding the yarn in the 2 fingers, wrap it around my finger twice, grab hold of the yarn that we're holding, pull it off, wrap it over again, and then pull it off. Pull tight. Like I said, plenty of different ways to do that. So what we want to do now, oh, and also you could use a magic ring as well. So let me show you how to do that in case you don't know. Easiest way I find is I just wrap it around my finger and then pulling that off my finger, grabbing my yarn, pulling through a loop, and then doing a chain 1 to secure. Plenty of different ways to do that too. So now what we're going to do for the cheeks is do 12 double crochets into the center. So first of all, we're going to start with a chain 3. We're going to yarn over, going into the center of our ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do this so we've got 12 stitches. So going into the center again, your double crochet, and I basically just stick a whole stack of stitches in. So I think I've got about 12, and then I count them. And for this, really, if you had 12, 13, 14, it's really not going to matter. As long as you do them both the same, you can have as many stitches as you like. So it's 9, 10, 11 and 12. I'm just pulling the center there. Then we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So what that means, you've got 1, 2, 3 chains when we started. You're going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain, so the top one. And of course, because I'm on camera, I can't get it. There we go. Grab the front loop and the back loop. and making a slip stitch. So you want to make 2 of those. So what we need to do also is have a bit of yarn, because we want to, got a bit of yarn attached there, we want to sew that on, so we want enough to sew that on. So make a chain 1 and then pull the yarn out. So you're going to make 2 of those, and then we also need to do 2 black ones for the little eyeballs. I'm not going to use black because that's a really bad colour to demonstrate with, so I'm going to use red again. So making your magic ring. Pulling up a loop, chain 1. Now for the little eyes, because they're smaller than the cheeks, we're going to use a single crochet stitch. So going into the centre, pulling up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, into the centre, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So keep doing a heap of those. I'm going to stick with the number 12. If you want to do more, that's perfectly fine. So again, I just keep putting a whole stack of them in. Not even counting, I'm just putting them in. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was a good guess. So now pull the loose bit, tighten that up, and then slip stitch to join again. So going into the first stitch, yarning over, pull through the loop, and then pull that ring tight. And then again cutting off enough yarn so that you can sew it on. I'm not going to do that because this is supposed to be black and I need to use this to make another little cheek. So once you have 2 red cheeks using the double crochet and 2 black eyeballs using 12 single crochets, then we're going to start putting our hat together and also do the icing. To make the icing, you're going to use your white yarn and you're going to make a chain, and that's all the icing is, basically just a chain, and then we're going to stitch it on. But because you may be making a different size hat to me, this one fits about a 5 to 10 year old, you're going to need a different amount of chains. So we're not going to count, we're just going to make a chain, but we're not going to cut off our yarn. We're going to leave it attached so that if we do need to make some more chains or take some out, then it's going to be easy for us to do that. So I've got about that much. We need it to go around the top of the hat. So I'm probably going to do about 30 to 35 centimetres. That's about 12-14 inches. And then we'll show you how to attach it to the hat. So when we get to the end, I'm just going to make a big loop so that when we are sewing it on, we don't accidentally unravel our chain. So you're going to have your hat, your icing, 2 eyeballs with a length of yarn attached, and 2 little rosy cheeks. They're cute. With the same, with the 2 tails attached that are quite long. So now we are going to attach our icing and our facial features. So we're going to lay our hat flat. We are also going to need some white yarn, just a scrap piece, probably not even a metre long. And then finding your needle, we're going to thread this. Now I can show the difference between our 8-ply here in Australia and worsted weight yarn. The one on the left is worsted weight and this is 8-ply. See how it's quite much, almost double the thickness. So that's why us Aussies have to make more increased rounds on certain things. Anyway, moving on. We won't dwell too much on that. Getting the end of your chain, you could sew that in. I'm actually going to sew it in after, or you could use this to attach your icing to your hat. We're going to work, depending on the size that you've made your hat, you're going to work down about 3 rows. And you're going to work between the 3rd and the 4th row, and that's when where your icing is going to zigzag. So, grabbing your hat, picking up stitches on the front. Now, the idea is to not go through the whole of the hat. So once you turn it over on the inside, you'll get white marks. To do that, you pick up stitches on the front. See how there's still some behind? So I'm going to tie a knot. You could also do this on the back of the hat. I'm going to sew that white bit in later so you won't even see it. Getting the end of your chain. There's 2 sides to a chain. There's the flat side, which is at the top, and then the bumpy bit on the bottom. You want the flat side looking at you. So we're going to sit that where we've just attached our yarn. And we're going to stitch them on. Now these are both supposed to be white, but I don't know if you can tell on the camera. This one's more of a creamy colour anyway. It's all good. I'll fix it up later. So we're going to make our icing go wavy in between 2 rows. So make sure that's securely attached. Try and pick up the front stitches again, going through the icing. Okay, so then zigzag down 2 rows. So 2 rows, so it's attached there, yep. And then stitch in and out of here. So I'm only just picking up stitches on the front of the hat. So making sure that's stitched down. Oh, we've got one. I think that's where I attach my yarn. Because if you're going to sell these, you want them to look just as nice on the inside as they do on the outside. So, zigging or zagging your icing back up over the 2 rows. Continue on. I'm actually stitching into the stitches of the chain. And then just trying to pick up only the front stitches of the hat. Now this is how slow I would normally do it. I'm not doing it this slow because of camera. If you do it slowly, you won't make a mistake, hopefully. So, zagging back down. Stitching our icing on. You're going to do this all the way around until we get back to the other side. So I'm going to continue off camera attaching my icing. So I'm coming around just to the end, and this is where I'm going to join. So I have this much chain left over, so I'm going to pull that out. Until you've got the length right. Excuse the squeaking, it's Miss Polly, the foam mannequin head, squeaking on my leather chair. Okay, so just going to stitch down the last couple of stitches. So how'd you go? Do you have white stitches on the inside? Oops, sorry. On the inside of your hat? I haven't checked mine yet. I'm sure I do. Alrighty, so I need to sew in those three ends, get rid of them. I'm going to also sew in this end, so what I'm going to do is just weave it in and out of the icing that we got there. I'm going to grab a loop like that, and then I'm going to make a knot, putting that through there. Oops, sorry. Keep bashing the camera. Ah, this squeaky noise, it's annoying. So then I'm going to go back, thread it on the inside, and then thread it through some stitches on the back of the hat to hide the tails. So after we've done that, we can get started on the eyes and the rosy cheeks. So now it's on to the eyes. I've already sewn one of mine on, as you can see. And I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, started on the 8th row from the bottom. Of course you can put yours wherever you like. So on to the next one. Now if you've seen my other videos where I sew bits and pieces onto hats, you already know this method, but I'll show you again just in case you haven't seen it. So you're going to line it up so it's even with the other one. And then what you need to do is when you get the stitches from the hat, you want to get them as close as you can to the edge of the piece that you're sewing on. So you're almost going underneath where the piece you're sewing on is. You're only picking up loops at the front of the hat. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some loops behind my needle. Small stitches work the best. And then you're going to work your way around. Because you're using the front stitches, you won't get the black yarn coming through the other side, the inside of the hat. It's really windy here today. I don't know if you can hear all those noises. Okay, so we're going to do this, and we're going to work this for both of the eyes, and we're also going to sew the rosy cheeks on the same way as well. So I'll catch up to you when you've sewn both your eyes and your rosy cheeks on. The placement of the cheeks is not underneath the eyes, but just off to the sides. You want to attach those, and I'm going to sew these on one row, or maybe 1.5 to 2 rows above the bottom of the hat. So we're going to do the mouth the same way that we did the icing. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 chains, so you don't need very many. And then we're going to stitch it down and then hide our ends. You could have put your mouth first, then your cheeks. And what you want to do is, so let's pretend that end's not there. The centre, so looking at the side, the centre bit, you want it coming out of there. So stitch it on like you did the icing. So there we go, that's what mine looks like. I think this is a really cute project. You could probably also add another row of double crochet or single crochet around the hat in the red or the cream colour or the white colour, whatever you've used. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my videos or to my channel, because there will be plenty of more videos to come. If you want to know what else I've made, so I thought she was going to fall over. She's probably going to fall over. We'll just keep the camera going. There she goes. Oh, she's gone all the way down. Poor Miss Polly. Anyway, as I was saying, if you want to know what else I've made, click on the Bob Wilson 123 username and that will take you to my channel. So until next time, happy crochet!